When words fall short, when hope feels thin, listen close, let music begin.
Hi, everybody. I have the honor today to introduce you to an amazing woman speaker. Her name is Pam Dwyer. Hi, Pam.
Hi.
And she is all about delaying the binge. Tell
Yes.
us what you speak on.
Well, I help people, primarily women, pause long enough to break unhealthy patterns because most of us don't have a knowledge problem. We know what to do, right? But we have a why am I doing this again problem.
Oh,
So,
repeating.
well, we just say, tomorrow I will not eat this chocolate cake. And then we do.
And
But it's
then,
not just about food, right? It's
yeah.
it's all about finding out the reason we continually sabotage ourselves, have unhealthy patterns, unhealthy behaviors
Okay.
that can really harm us mentally and physically. But just pausing long enough to see what's really the problem. What's the pattern? Why am
What's
I
the pattern?
constantly doing things I know don't serve me well?
Okay, as far as that chocolate cake, I started something because, you go buy a birthday cake or a wedding cake and, it's about celebrating. So I have
Yeah.
what I call the 3-bite rule. I'll take 3 bites. And it's usually where
Yeah.
where the frosting
Yes.
is.
Wipe it off.
Well, I
And
love
yeah, and it's not about discipline or
no.
anything or willpower. It's more about recognizing the moment before you act and choosing differently, taking control.
Making different choices. Oh, that's
Yeah.
good. This is really good. Is there a story behind all of this that inspired you? So you've written a book
Hmm.
from the Piney Woods. So it
Yes.
sounds to me like you might be a storyteller.
I am. And what a lot of us do on these podcasts is a lot of times we start in the middle
Hmm.
or at the end, the good stuff. And it's not the icing of the cake, it's the cake. But what brought us to that point? And so my book is a good starting point. I write as PJ Hamilton, and it's my one and only book out there. I'm working on two others, a sequel to this one called Branches. And From the Piney Woods is a memoir. It's about growing up in the Piney Woods of East Texas. And I grew up in a very dysfunctional, abusive childhood. But what makes the book unique is I have been to like probably 8 years of therapy to over,
Oh,
to get through, to get over, but you never get over, to learn how to cope with what
okay.
happened to me. And the book, I share my journal notes
Mhm.
from my raw journal notes every few chapters to show the brokenness. And then the chapters following are showing what caused it. And I always tell people it's about this much sad, and the
Okay.
rest of it is very inspiring. And you can see where I slowly start healing and I learn how to use that pain for a purpose.
Oh,
And
boy, this is
yeah,
good. Sounds like a great book. I think
it is.
there's a lot of healing that needs to happen, especially with women. Oh,
Yes.
and I think right now, Pam, I think that the feminine voice is getting louder and louder. And I feel it's the feminine voice that's going to rescue the world.
Oh my goodness. I couldn't agree with you more.
Yes.
Even in the speaking world, there's, believe it or not, we know the famous ones, right? The ones we all hear, and Mel Robbins and Brene Brown.
Mhm.
But there's not a lot. If you get into the speaking world and you start, there's the majority is men,
Oh,
and
yeah. Oh,
we
absolutely.
need we need women speakers to
Yes.
tell their stories so that we can all heal together
I
and
think,
maybe see ourselves in their stories.
you know, you bring up a really good point with what you just said because men don't usually get up there and talk about how they had to heal,
Yeah.
you know. But how many men do need to heal?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not going to exclude men. I mean,
It-
they need to delay the binge too.
So they need, yeah, exactly. They need to hear women speakers. There
Mhm.
needs to be a balance because it's
Mhm.
not all about you can be successful, you can do this, you can make all this money, you can, which a lot of the male speakers are all about that, about motivation, be successful, da 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 da, where women
Rah, rah,
really,
rah.
where women really speak from the heart.
Mhm.
We speak from the heart.
Well, we're nurturers. That's what
Yes,
we do.
and that's what we do. And so the feminine is it's a quiet strength. We don't need the big banners or the big accolades or all of that. But, there's that old saying, behind every good man, there's a really good woman. So I think what we need is more feminine female speakers because,
Yes.
yeah. So
There's a huge need for that.
there's a
And women that
huge,
feel like they couldn't do that. Like, I don't really have a story, or I would be scared to death to get up on a stage and speak, but
yes.
they don't realize their potential and the need for them to connect with other women just like them.
And that's what we're doing right now.
Yes.
That's what we're doing right now.
I love what you're doing. I love
Oh,
your
thank you.
podcast.
Thank you. Tell me about somebody that you've helped, that a little testimony of somebody that might have read your book or heard you speak, that you totally changed their lives.
Well, it all started, believe it or not, I'm a retired youth minister.
Oh,
And so I guess the first time I ever realized my story could help someone was when in our church, we would give testimonials about when we found the Lord and, when we started our walk with Jesus. And I went up there and shared my story about my childhood. And I'd never really talked in front of anyone before, but I shared my heart and said that, told my story when I mean, I knew about God my whole life growing up, but I was very angry at him for a long, long time because why did he pick me to be beaten every day of my life? And the girl down the street, you know, had this beautiful life. And I just thought I was so awful, so unworthy that not even God wanted to help me. And so for a long time, I was very angry, but then I discovered he was just preparing me
mhm.
for a very important job. And that was before I was involved in youth ministry. But
So
so
there was
anyway, the lady after the talk, a woman came
yeah.
up to me that I'd known for years
Oh,
and was
beautiful.
just crying,
Yeah.
tears streaming down her eyes. She said, I have a story just like yours. And I thought I was maybe the only one. And that's when I saw, oh, okay, Lord, I see now. I see what you're calling me to do
Yes.
and why it was so healing that one moment because I
Yes.
finally realized I didn't see value in it. I understood why I had to go through that.
Ex- Yes, because you're right. It's not easy to get up and tell these stories.
No, you're bearing your soul.
Right. And it takes a lot of courage. And so good for you. Good for you because telling these sad stories, but more importantly, how to heal from these sad stories is
Yes,
is
it's so funny. I wasn't going to use my journal notes in my book, but it was so painful to relive
oh yeah.
the brokenness because, I've healed and I've learned how to cope. And so to write about that period in my life, I was struggling. And
Yeah.
so I started reflecting on my journal notes. And then I thought, maybe everyone else needs to read them too. So it was hard to share it, but I
Yeah.
did.
Well, good for you. And good for you. And thank you for your courage
You're so
because
welcome.
that took a lot of courage. So, do you have a song? I like to ask this question because I'm all about music. And I
Well,
told you
believe
that
it or not, I
uh-huh,
mean, we love country music so much. I mean,
uh-huh,
we play it all day long, but for
uh-huh.
some reason, what affects me or energizes me the most is Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen.
Oh, okay.
Well, and I appreciate the creative part of, I mean, I watched a movie once about,
Uh-huh.
about the band and how they created that song. It
Yeah.
just took a lot of creativity and just the way they created all the noise, the sounds and the music. So
Da, 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 da. The
and it builds,
and it
it just,
builds da da
and it
da da
causes just,
da 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 da
yeah,
da.
it
And
energizes me. And
well, it's classical.
yeah.
The first time I'm classically trained in the piano, I wrote that
Yeah.
Jose Cuervo song, but I'm also, but, but I studied with a concert pianist. And so when I first heard that Queen song, I thought, that sounds like a classical piece. Da da
Mhm.
da 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 da
Yes.
da 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 da. Yeah, yeah. So I love
Yeah.
that. Good for
Mhm.
you. Well, thank
Yeah,
you.
that and there is an artist out there I've just recently started listening to. I don't know if you've heard of her, Lindsay Sterling.
No, but I will. I
Her
will.
she plays a violin, right? Like
Oh,
classical, but she plays it in a punk rock way and is just dancing. She was a ballerina all over while playing
oh,
her violin, but it's just real upbeat and creative and you can actually see a movie in your mind when she's playing it.
oh, no kidding. Laura Sterling?
No, Lindsay,
Oh,
Lindsay
Lindsay
Sterling.
Sterling.
Yeah.
Okay, Lindsay Sterling.
Yes.
Okay, I will definitely look her up. All right. Well, thank you so much, Pam. And
Oh.
I will look forward to seeing you speak. And tell us real quick about your broadcast, your
Oh,
podcast.
my podcast?
Yeah,
Yes,
tell
it's
us.
called Delay the Binge Podcast with Pam Dwyer.
Okay.
And I that talk about healing, speaking
Mhm.
to women of, they're experts in all these issues that we struggle with, creating new patterns and getting rid of the old patterns to become healthier, more aware, you know, allow ourselves to be curious and give ourselves the time to work on who we are. Because a
I
lot
love
of
it.
women, quite frankly, have no sense of identity because they're just too busy checking off all the boxes. But
Yeah.
we have the Becoming series going on right now
Okay.
and through the month of May, and it's just beautiful. The women that share their hearts with us and give us ways and to improve our lives, and maybe accomplish all the things that we never thought we could. So
I love it. Thank you.
you're so welcome. Thank you.
Okay.